there's three big elements of PTSD. It's, reliving the event, so flashbacks of the event, that re-experiencing, avoidance of people, places, things that remind us of that traumatic event. And
Mhm.
again, that's like a very visceral survival reaction. And
Yeah.
then this heightened state of, arousal or hyper sort of awareness of your surroundings, like
Yes.
on edge. So those are PTSD. So CPTSD has all of those symptoms plus some additional symptoms. And that really comes into play of like the emotional dysregulation, which really is emotional flashbacks. It's the same mechanism taking place in your brain, but instead of seeing the event, you're feeling it. So you don't always know that you're having a flashback. But I would say that emotional dysregulation is one. Two
Mhm.
is, we have a very negative self view. We didn't really develop that sense of self, and
Yeah.
we don't have those healthy coping mechanisms. CPTSD does not develop overnight. It doesn't
Yeah.
typically develop from one single event. We're talking usually compound events. And really, I think the definition is it's a mental health condition that develops from severe or repeated trauma that are usually interpersonal in nature and from which there's no perceived escape. So the easiest example of that is with children, right? Because as a child, we are dependent on our caregivers. So
Yeah.
psychologically, physically, that dependency is so hardwired in us
Mhm.
that we would rather see us as having deficits or flaws, like there's something wrong with us, rather than
Yeah.
there's something wrong with this situation, like, a
Yeah.
narcissistic parent or abuse or whatever that dysfunction is. And so that is kind of step one. And it's not just with children, is you do see it with like victims of sex trafficking as well as, prisoners of war